Hey everybody, Swab here. So today we're going to be taking a look at Star Trek Missions, which is a re-theme of Fantasy Realms, and it is by Bruce Glassco, and it's published by WizKids. Now, even though it's a re-theme of Fantasy Realms, it is not an exact one-for-one, to my knowledge. Like the cards are not an exact copy of that, and it's slightly different from my understanding. Now, I played Fantasy Realms, but when this one was announced, I kind of thought it was interesting. Now, the issue is, even though I enjoy Star Trek, and I know lots of other people who enjoy Star Trek, people who enjoy it, I have not had a chance to play with recently. So, and this game really, it's a multiplayer game. What is nice, and someone else had the same problem I guess I did, or just loves solo games, that on BGG, they on Board Game Geek, they put out a forum post describing a solo system. So Robert Leonard put the system out there, or put out the rules for the solo game, and so I'm going to go over the solo version of how to play. So you won't find this in the rulebook at all. This is something that you can go on to Board Game Geek and find. I'll put a link in the description below. But basically, the way Star Trek Missions works is there's two different types of cards. There are galaxy cards that look like this, and there are mission cards that look like this. And so this is a little bit different than the multiplayer version of the game. You can't really use these rules and apply them to the multiplayer because there's quite a bit of difference. But anyway, in the multiplayer game, we're going to be, these decks stay separate. In the solo game, the first big thing is that you take both of those decks of cards, the 24 mission cards and the 50 galaxy cards, and you shuffle them all in one big deck. And you're going to deal yourself 7 cards. And we're going to make a line of 7 cards. If you played Fantasy Realms, you already know, or if you played this version of the multiplayer game, your goal is to put out 7 cards in a row, and then these cards are going to score points, and you're going to see how many points you score. The big difference in the solo version is that you're going to be making 2 rows of 7, and you're going to score points based at the end of the game based off the lowest scoring row. That's going to be your final score. So you kind of want to balance both the rows because the lowest one is going to be the one that ends up being your score at the game, which I really like that version. I know other people have kind of tweaked it for themselves and take like an average of the two rows. That was a suggestion somebody else made. I can't remember their name. My apologies. But yeah, you can take a look at that and see what you think. So we shuffle them up, and we're going to draw ourselves 7 cards. So we're going to get rid of this guy, and we're going to grab ourselves 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can see at the top, what's going to come, but that's fine, and that's okay. And let's put our deck up in the corner, just out of the way. And now we're going to have 7 cards in our hand. Now, if you haven't played Fantasy Realms, or even played the multiplayer version of this, you're going to know, or you're going to find out that every card has a couple different things going on it. It's going to tell you the name of the character. It's going to tell you their type. It could be like a captain or civilian or personnel. It's going to tell them your specialty, which is the green one, their life form, and their affiliation or alignment. And all of these bits of the card, even sometimes their name, is going to impact other cards. And as you'll see, the bottom text tells you how the card is actually scored at the end of the game. So at the end of the game, if I have this in my row, I'm going to get 9 points for every Counselor Deanna Troi and Captain Jean-Luc Picard. So if I have those cards in my row, I'll get 9 points for each of them. If they're not in my row, this card will get me 0 points at the end. So let's see who else we got. We got Wesley Crusher, and his score is equal to that of anyone's system or other engineer in my hand. So it's basically going to duplicate somebody else. I don't love this card because rarely do I find I'm fortunate enough to land something that's worth doing that with, but that's just me and maybe my limited number of plays. I've probably played this the solo version like 10 times, maybe less. Let's see, Spock, he's going to get 6 points for every Romulan, or Ambassador Sarek. I'm going to not say that name right. People are going to be like, you're not a real Star Trek fan. Not a real Trekkie, and that's fine. Or Lieutenant Commander Data. Oh boy. And here we go with some of the equipment, and it's going to score 6 points for every Klingon or Klingon Empire, or 16 points, 6 points if you have at least one, and 16 if I have 2 or more. So ideally, trying to get 2 of those would be nice. And now we have an actual mission, and in the multiplayer game, you have to have at least 1 mission, a maximum of 2 in your line of 7. Those rules don't apply in the solo version. Let's see, 14 points with at least 1 personnel and 1 counselor, or a Federation captain. And we have personnel. And we don't have a counselor, do we? Oh, this location is going to count as a counselor, so perfect. We could do that. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead here, already thinking about how I'm going to play here. So that's going to be just 14 missions, give it, or 14 points. Give us a good mission to work towards. And we have location 10 forward. And you get 4 points for every Federation personnel and civilian. So this would be nice if you have a lot of Federation people. To score that one. Moriarty. Blank just means that this card won't be anything. It'll basically a blank card at the end of the game unless I have a holodeck or a computer. And if I have one of those in my row, then I'll get 8 points for each science and engineer. And right now we have, of course, our one engineer with Wes here. Now these are our original 7, but the first thing you have to do every turn, you have to draw 2 cards. So we've actually looked at our 7. Now we need to take 2 more. And you can see this can get a little brain burning at the very beginning, thinking how you're going to put these cards all together. Another mission. We're looking to try to get some Federation with command and 2 other cards that have to have different specialties from each other. Okay. And Ambassador Sarek. Ooh, which connects with somebody else. Who wanted that? Spock does. So these 2 kind of could go together. I guess 5 for every non-Federation captain. Right now we have no captains. They're the red cards. And they'd say captain up at the top corner. So none of those, but Spock would probably like to work along with Ambassador, because that'll get him at least 6 points. And now, here's the big thing. We have 9 cards. We're going to play 1 card at the top row. And we're going to build instead 2 rows, play a second card in the bottom row. And there's going to be 2 separate rows down here. And then we have to get rid of one of these cards forever. They go in the discard pile, and they are gone from the game. Which is a little bit different, again, than Fantasy Realms, where you can take cards out of the discard pile. On a solo game, you can't, because that would be a nice way to kind of like get the best cards, right? Once you throw a card away, it's gone forever. So lots of choices here, what we're going to do. I should say that I'm just showing you how to play and give you a feel for the game, how to play it. I know we're like 6 minutes in, plus more. But I know I'm not going to score well, because I'm going to be talking and thinking out my thoughts out loud and trying to get a video done in a relatively okay amount of time. Because when you play this by yourself, you can play this in like 10 minutes or less. And obviously the videos will be much longer than that. So here we go. Let's take a look, see what you really want. This guy equals a system. And do we have any systems currently? We don't have any systems, because those would be stated on there. Right, so no systems. Other engineers. Well, let's see. Do I have any other engineers? That's that green dotted spot. Counselor. Ambassador. No. Already, I think like this card, least interesting. Does anybody work well with Federation? That card works with Klingons. Federation Captain. Well, 10 forward works with Wesley Crusher because he is a Federation personnel. So I mean, like, there's a link there, but it's the only useful card. I'm trying to think where to start. And I think obviously I want to work with this combo here. I want to get both these cards out, turn 1 and turn 2, probably. And we'll start with Spock because at least he works towards Romulans. So we have to adjust a little bit. We don't have to worry about the Ambassador as much. So we're going to put Spock out on the first row. And I think to make room on the camera, he's going to go way over there. Remember, we're looking for Romulans and the Ambassador, which we got, or Data. I will tell you, I don't have any Klingons. There could be Klingons in my draw, so like, but that's not one that's not that interesting. Personal issues could go with 10 forward. It also makes a really good storyline. I think if there's a story that had personnel issues, there probably would be a scene in 10 forward at some point. I don't necessarily know if I really care about Moriarty, even though he does care about engineers like Wes does. But trying to get holodeck might be difficult. Computer, there might be, I think that's just the name of a single card. So it's probably 3 chances in that whole deck. Troy, we're gonna hold on to. Man, ethical dilemma and personal issues almost feel like they should be going together. Yeah. Alright, what are we not excited about? Well, I have no Klingons in my hand. Let's get rid of this, even though that'd be an amazing number of points if Klingons show up. We're going to discard that. That's going to be gone forever. We're going to save this for the other row. And why don't we work on this mission of personnel issues? We need to get personnel and a counselor or a captain. So we need a personnel, which we already have. We just need to find a Federation captain or a counselor. There we go. So that's our first round played out. We have Spock on row 1. We've got personnel issues on row 2. We've tossed a card out. We've got now 6 cards left. You can tell our countdown, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The game ends when our hand is out, right? Because that'll be the 7 turns. So we're going to draw 2 more. Now we have 8. Computer virus and lure of profits. Let's look at these. All right. Let's take a look here. A little Ferengi time. Lure of Profit. 7 for each Ferengi Alliance, each artifact, and each archaeologist. I don't have any of those kind of things right now. So that's not a very appealing card. That might get discarded. And Computer Virus. 7 for each system and each hologram. Well, if I got Data, he would like to work with Spock. And we know that he's going to be... no, hologram. Ooh, what am I talking about? Moriarty's a hologram. Yeah, Moriarty's a hologram, but we do need a computer to deal with this. But if we could get a computer, Moriarty, this mission, oh, there's some synergy there. We still don't have any system cards. Alright, well, for sure, I think I'm getting rid of this one, because I don't have anything that affects this at this point. So this mission is gone, that story, we're just not going to worry about today. And we know that we are going to play Ambassador Sarek with Spock. And those ones go together, right? Because this is going to be 6 points for him. Now I need some non-Federation captains to actually make this card actually useful, but we'll watch for those. And here we're looking for a personnel and a counselor or a captain. So we have a personnel. We have a counselor. So already we got what we need here. Personnel, counselor. So that looks pretty good. So these ones are going to go together then. And just for fun, I'm going to play 10 forward first, because I feel like maybe this adventure, this episode of Star Trek would open up maybe at 10 forward. Who knows? All right, now we're down to 5 cards. Timer's ticking. Let's draw 2 new ones. A weapon. And imminent destruction. Ooh, lots of points for an engineer. Wesley's an engineer. I mean, we might have to put that down on this row here. If Wesley ends up down here, because we need to have, of course, personnel. That might be handy. And 11 points for a Vulcan or Betazoid. Well, we already have 2 Vulcans here. So, I mean, this has to go down on the top line. We do, of course, have our Betazoid Ambassador, but you don't need to worry about that because we have what we're looking for here. So on this next turn, we're going to put our weapon down here. And I don't remember that episode because it's been that while since I've watched that. And of course, with also like the rainbow effect, sometimes it's hard to place what's going on or where that scene is from. And 10 forward, we said we want to put Wesley here. All right, Wes. Let's see if you can do some exciting stuff. You're at least going to score us points for the mission and for 10 forward. We need a system or another engineer to actually make Wes score anything at this point. But, you know, hopefully he'll carry his weight by the end. All right. We still have 5 cards. I mean, we still haven't discarded one. We got to get rid of something. Let's see. This we're going to keep because that'll go with Wes. That'll be like the B story. Maybe the A story be personnel and the B story will be imminent destruction. Though realistically, probably the A story be imminent destruction. The B story be personnel issues. But hey, that's what I played out first. So this one's going to be kept for sure. We still don't have a system. Nor we do have a hologram though, so there's possibility, but this hologram's not going to work unless we get some other stuff. Do we think we're going to get Captain? Do we think we're going to get Diana Troy? I don't know. I'm not holding my breath here. Ethical dilemma. Well, okay, let's hold on to ethical dilemma. One Federation card with command. We don't have any Federation with command at all yet. And then two other cards with different things from each other. Which I think this counts because Spock has he's ambassador, has specialties of ambassador and science. And Sarek has an ambassador, but I think ambassador and then science will be our two different ones. So that would be fine to help us get towards this, but we need a Federation command with command. So it sounds like we've talked ourselves out of this card right now. And the choices are getting tougher. It's getting tighter now. So let's get rid of that one. All right, we're down to 4. Let's draw 2 more, back up to 6. Turbo lift, a location, 2 other locations. Man, we got this one location at 10 forward. They could use the turbo lift to go up to who knows where. I guess the other location we haven't discovered yet. We'll find out after the commercial break and see what's going on. And hey, look at that. We have a Federation card with command. We have Riker. He's going to stand in a Captain Morgan pose while he talks to you. Sorry, that's probably a terrible sound to blow into the mic. I have to cut that out in editing. This is appealing. He's not a captain, and he's not Federation. There are a lot of tough choices right now. All right, I think Imminent Destruction we're going to play because of Wes being an engineer. There, Wesley Crusher. You're getting involved in the imminent destruction of the Enterprise as they deal with Borg problems. I think that's from that episode. Who knows? Someone probably knows. And I probably used to know, but that information has gone. All right. So these two, Ethical Dilemma and Riker, they could work with Spock and Sarek, and that would get some points there. So I think we're going to work that direction. Are we going to get another location? Don't know. Are we going to get a hologram? It seems less and less likely. And less likely this card's going to be useful. I think we made our choice here. We are going to play out Riker up here. And, oh, this is painful, but the odds of getting these things are so low. But 8 points. We could get 8 points for here. See you, Moriarty. All right, down to 3. Let's drop to 5. A Romulan and a captain. He's a non-Federation captain. Wouldn't they love to talk to each other right now as they deal with something? I guess we don't have a mission for them yet. Maybe this ethical dilemma. Oh, man. Choices, choices, choices. I don't see... Yeah, I think that... I only drew 1, right? I drew another 1. Oh, wow. Okay. I feel like I was really excited about this. Why am I excited about this? I would have been more excited had I kept her mother instead of discarding her, but she's probably not. She's probably happy to not have her mother show up. I don't know. This will go really nicely, of course, with Riker. He'll get 7 points for hanging out with her on this mission. But I mean, we also want to play this card. So we got 1, 2. We have these 3 cards we all want to play up here, and that would be the 3 to fill that row. And then we don't know what we want to play down here. Well, this thing is probably gone. This guy, we'd have to hope for a location. All right. Here we go. Let's play out Ethical Dilemma, because I think that'll help us a lot. 15 points. Needs 1 Federation card with command. Riker, check. And 2 other cards with any life form. So, okay, Balkans, they're fine. And different specialties. Ambassador and science. I think that counts. You know what? There's an FAQ in the back of this, all about Ethical Dilemma. these cards ask for different specialties. It doesn't matter if these cards share some specialties, as long as they also have different specialties as well. Well, there we go. They share a specialty, Ambassador, but they also have a different one, Science and Ambassador. So I guess we're all right. All right. They're having an ethical dilemma. They even got Riker involved, and they're dealing with some Ambassador issues. This is the old Spock, obviously, because it's next-gen Spock, so he's being an Ambassador as well. They're showing up together, probably aboard the Enterprise, and it has something to do with the Stone of Gaul. Alright, we need to get a card played down here. Well, we can't play these two because I want to play these two at the top row. And we really don't think this card's going to score anything. There's no extra mission. We already have 2 missions down here. That is enough. Personnel issues, image destruction. What else could the Star Trek Enterprise want to deal with? Let's get playing this one here, and we'll cross our fingers hoping for a second location. We are looking for 2 other locations. Here's 1 location at 10 forward. We need 1 more location, and we only have 2 more cards to do it in. Will it show up? We don't know. We hope so. And let's get rid of this mission. We don't need it. It's gone. Alright. Taking down here. Let's draw ourselves 2 cards. Commander Kern. He's looking for Worf. We don't really need Commander Kern. And Commander Bruce Maddox. 5 points for an android and a hologram. We threw away our hologram. We have not seen an android. Not too excited. He is an engineer, however, and that would be useful for imminent destruction. Somehow Wesley Crusher and Bruce Maddox have got themselves embroiled in something. And he could, because he's going to get 5 points. Yeah, see, Wesley's score copying that is useless because we don't have an android or a hologram. So basically he's going to be 0. He's going to be 0, but they both help with the imminent destruction mission. So I guess that's what we're going to do. Bruce Maddox is going to hang out with Wes. Really good role model for him, I'm sure. We're going to play out Diana Troy because Riker loves to hang out with Diana Troy. Read the Peter David novel, and you can read all about their love there. And let's get rid of this one here. See you later. Oh, it's too bad because getting the points here would be great. And because he's a Klingon... well, c'est la vie. I don't think it's anything better here. Let's think about this. Who do we want? 3 or more Federation cards. 3 different jobs among them. That's 13 points. 3 or more Federation. Federation, Federation, Federation. Federation. And they have to have 3 different specialties among them. Ambassador, 1. Science, another. Command, another. Counselor, another. Okay, 15 points, easy peasy. This guy, even with his help for Diana Troy's ability, not that exciting. So let's get rid of him. Let's play out. Oh wait, no, this is for next turn. Yeah, we're debating who we're going to play. Perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just checking my discard pile. Make sure there's 6. 6, 6, 6 everywhere around. Excellent. Let's draw our last 2 cards here. Engine room. Location. Engineer. We have double engineers down here. We need another location. This is the best draw ever. Last card. The Traveler. Oh. Engine room. Engine room. Wesley Crusher. Wesley Crusher. If only we could play 8 cards, I'd play both of these cards down here to get lots of points, but we can't do that. So, this guy's going to get 6 points for... Sorry. The Traveler's going to get 10 points for Wesley Crusher. Okay. Great. 10 points for that. This one, though, is going to get 6 points for each engineer, which is these 2, which is 12. Plus, it's going to help towards finishing off the turbo lift rule. So, obviously, this is going to give us way more points. So, let's play out the engine room down here. Great find. Let's get rid of the Traveler. We don't need them in the story that we're creating. And let's have kind of Shomalak here from the Romulan Star Empire. I guess he's creating the ethical dilemma mission. And Counselor Troy is involved in trying to make some understanding through emotions, which of course the Vulcans are going to love. And the Romulans are not going to enjoy having her here either. And they're all debating maybe The ethical dilemma has something to do with an assassination attempt with this weapon here, and they're trying to like come to terms with it. Maybe that's the story that's going on up here. I don't know. And then down here, we have the A story should really be imminent destruction, because that's much more exciting. For some reason, they need to blow up the Enterprise, and why? Who knows? And then there's some personnel issues going on as well. And that's the B story, going on in 10 forward. And Wesley Crusher and Bruce Maddox are running around the Enterprise, jumping from a 10 forward, using the turbo lift to head over to the engine room where they're going to try to initiate imminent destruction. We don't have an enemy that we're aware of. Maybe that's the scariest kind of enemy to have. But anyway, there we go. We've played that out, and we need to score the points. So I'm going to grab myself a pen, and we're going to go card by card, and we are going to score them out. Normally I just, let's go and score them out. Anyway, the game comes with this giant thick stack here. I never use it because I usually just use my phone or use a piece of paper or whatever to like add up everything as I go. But let's make it legit. Let's use this piece of paper, and that way on screen my math hopefully will check out. So let's do the top row. We'll go down this way. We'll do the 7 cards, and then we'll score it out. And then we'll do the 7 cards here and score it out. And let's see how we do. All right, where can I put this here? I'll just hold it up and bring it up. Card number 1, line number 1. It's Spock. Spock's gonna get 6 points for each Romulan. Oh. If you don't want to stick around for scoring, we've already kind of understand how it works. You can just leave now. I'm going to go and score card by card. So let's say card number 1, Spock. He gets 6 points for every Romulan, every ambassador, and data. We have 1 Romulan, 6 points. We have the ambassador with us, 6 points. So Spock's going to score us a total of 12 cards. Or 12, not 12 cards, 12 points. 12. Beautiful writing, 12. Ambassador, card number 2. He needs 5 points for every non-Federation captain. Do we get any? Yes, we do. Here is a captain. He is not a Federation. So here we get 5 points. And the Stone of Gaul, 11 points if I have at least 1 Vulcan or a Betazoid. And we do. And man, I wish I could remember the story for this episode, because obviously I could make something really good with these guys and Deanna Troi if I could just remember what this was all about, but I don't. So we get 11 points for that, for card number 3. All right, Riker. 7 points for a transporter. We don't have it. Deanna Troi, we do. Or the away team mission, we don't. So we're going to get 7 points for having Riker with us. Wow, good job, Riker. All right, 12, 5, 11, 7. And Ethical Dilemma, 15 points if we have 1 Federation card with command, we do, and 2 other cards with any, I forget what they call the blue symbol, life form, with different jobs. And so Sarek and Spock count, that's 15. I mean, we could use a lot of other ones. We have other options over here too, Counselor, Command, we're good. So that's 15 points for that mission. Card number 6, Deanna Troi came to join us. We're gonna get 5 points for each different life form. That's not a Betazoid and not a human. So Riker won't count, but we get Romulans and Vulcans, so we're gonna get 10 points, 5 for each. And the last one here, 13 points if I have 3 or more Federation cards having at least 3 different specialties among them. And we do have that. We have Federation, 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 Federation. We got 4. And these 3 specialties, yes, we do, right? Ambassador, Science, Command, Counselor, 4. So we get 13 points for doing that achievement. Very nice. Alrighty. So we got 17, 28, 35, 50, 60, 73. Alright, 73 sounds like a good score. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Let's go on to our second one. We're going to do them in order again. Personnel issues is card number 1. 14 points, 1 personnel, and a Federation captain or a counselor. We have Oh, do we get any points for this? We have a personnel. Yes. Do we have a counselor? No. Do we have a captain? No. I had a counselor and I put it in a different row, so this gets 0 points. This mission was a complete failure. They did not solve the personnel issues. Someone transferred off the Enterprise at the end because they were angry at HR. Alright, on to 10 forward. 4 points for every Federation personnel or civilian. Well, we have 2 Federation, so we're going to get 8 points for that. Not feeling nearly as positive about this round anymore. Alright, Wesley's score is going to equal the other engineer in your hand. Well, or system. We have no systems. And our engineer is going to score 0 points. So he's going to score 0. Boy, this is a bad row. Alright, 8 for each engineer. We have 2 engineers. Thank goodness we're finally getting some points, right? 16, so we're at 24 so far. Not very good. Turbo lift. 16 of the 2 other locations. We have 10 forward. They took the turbo lift over to the engine room. So we're going to get 16 points for that one. Which puts us at 40 points. And Maddox, we already talked about. No androids, no holograms. Get out of here. 0 points. Thanks for nothing, Maddox. And engine room. 6 points for each other engineer. Oh, hold up a minute. This is an engineer too. Which means I get 8 more points for imminent destruction. Okay, that's card number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to add plus 8. Plus 8. So we'll just put it down here, 48. Alright, back to this. 6 for each other engineer. We have 2 other engineers. 12 more points. So 48, 50, 60. Alright, so we had 2 exciting adventures, 2 stories, back-to-back episodes playing on repeat on some cable channel somewhere. And obviously one was a little more loved than the other. 73-point row and a 60-point row. And hopefully you did the math right, and hopefully you see how to play, and hopefully you had fun watching, and hopefully you try out this variant if you own this game, and you want to play by yourself because you don't have any other Trek friends or people who want to read a bunch of cards and do some brain-burning thinking. It's not super brain-burning, but depending on people's experience or feel with these types of games, they may or may not enjoy this as much. But I hope you did. Thank you so much for watching, and we will talk to you again.